Darren, would you mind asking next time you decide to take over the show, please?
Well, if there's one thing we can always give Nintendo credit for, it's that they know when they're onto a good thing and they know not to mess with it too much. Luigi's Mansion is a much-loved Nintendo favourite, and it's finally got its sequel for the 3DS, and it's ready to haunt us with its spooky charm.
In the realm of the Evershade Valley, happy friendly ghosts suddenly turn hostile when the dark moon is shattered. Professor Egad, who has been studying these ghosts, calls upon the help of Master Ghostbuster, Luigi. He must venture into the haunted mansion to retrieve the broken pieces of the Dark Moon and put the world right again.
The first Luigi's Mansion was released on the Nintendo GameCube as a launch title and was one of the best-selling games of the console's generation. But while in the first game Luigi had to explore 5 different floors of a haunted mansion, this time around you have 5 different mansions to explore. Well, 5 different haunted locations, really. And this keeps things feeling fresh.
I love how Luigi is kind of a reluctant hero too. I mean, Mario is always yahooing and charging into the action, but not Luigi. He doesn't seem keen on being heroic at all. He's a bit scared, he's always shaking his head and slumping his shoulders like he really doesn't want to be there, but it's his duty, so he does it anyway. Kind of makes him all the more lovable, really.
Yeah, poor guy can't catch a break. Luckily, the buck-toothed professor doesn't send him into the fray unarmed. He's got some nifty inventions to aid Luigi in his ghost trapping adventures. Namely, the famous vacuum cleaner makes a return.
But this is no ordinary vacuum cleaner. It's fitted with a variety of clever attachments. Its basic vacuum function can be used to suck up trash, carpets and other objects in the environment that might be hiding coins and gold. And it of course can also be used to trap those pesky ghosts. Combine that with the torch attachment and ghosts can be stunned so you can nab them more easily. Then there's the dark light attachment, which helps you locate hidden objects and secrets.
Yeah, and using a combination of all these tools is key to taking down the various types of ghosts you'll face. Some of them are easy, but there are some really tricky ones as well, and they'll take a few goes to vacuum up. It's important not to keep vacuuming them for too long or they'll drag you around and you'll lose a fair bit of health.
Not to mention some ghosts you can see, but some really are invisible and you have to reveal them using one of your gadgets.
Yes, quite often I'd just be randomly flashing my torch around in a circle trying to find out where they are. Once you have one stunned and snagged, combining a thumbstick pull and hitting A will suck the ghost up. But this isn't always an easy move to pull off.
Not to mention some of them are tricky and will block your flashlight so they can't be stunned.
Yeah, it's clever the way they've created depth within the ghost catching. That said, I think all of the hidden collectibles and the exploration, finding those hidden rooms was my greatest joy with this adventure. It's full of well-designed areas to navigate, packed with all kinds of mysterious ropes, trapdoors and secret passages that you'd expect to find in a haunted building.
Yes, and you'll be presented with a number of different puzzles with each new area you come across too, which is great. The puzzles aren't particularly tricky. Mostly they just involve basic physics or timing, or simply keeping your eyes peeled for hidden entrances. But navigating each environment is quite inventive with things like flying foxes that you attach your vacuum cleaner to.
Yeah, it's got a really complete and polished feel to it, doesn't it? The aesthetic is just spot on, giving gamers who love the first game enough to wallow in with all that wonderful spooky nostalgia, while also creating a vivid new environment that feels reinvented.
There's also some multiplayer modes which you can access via local or download play, with each player taking the role of a different coloured Luigi with full access to his range of gear.
Oh, there's ghosts in this room, Darren. Quick, come to the left.
Hurry.
I'll be right there. I'm just having a little...
You're letting the tent down. Yeah, okay guys, I think we should wrap this up.
Okay, well, I had a really good time with this. I think fans of the original will find this to be a fine sequel, but newcomers will have a ball as well. It's easy to see why this is a Nintendo favourite. I'm giving it 8.5.
Yeah, I think some may find it not very challenging, but it is a fantastic game. I'm giving it 8.5 as well. Darren, is this your spy cat?
Oh, it's not a spy cat at all, Barjo. I was inspired by the love that you two have for your pet cat, so I created one of my own.
Oh, what's it called?
Well, all he does is eat and complain, so I named him Barjo.
Oh.
Just kidding.
It's not very nice, Darren.
I think we should get on with the game. Luigi has always been, well, second to his sibling Mario, but Nintendo have decreed this is the year of Luigi. So far, he's already enjoyed his own starring role in the very excellent Luigi's Mansion 2, and now he's back in the spotlight with new Super Luigi U.
Super Luigi U is actually downloadable content for last year's Mario launch title, but it's also available as a full game. And once again, Bowser is up to no good. Instead of kidnapping Princess Peach this time, he grabs Luigi and friends and flings them out of the castle. If this sounds a bit familiar, it's because it's identical to the Mario Bros. U opening, except they've just deleted Mario. Lame. It's a shame they didn't think of a more interesting opening for this, but platformers are all about the gameplay, and that's where it counts. How did you find it, Hex?
Well, I loved the level design. There's just so much creativity and polish that's been lavished across each one of these worlds. I mean, it sure is a lot harder than Mario Brothers was, though. For a start, Luigi handles very differently to his big brother. He can jump higher, which comes in handy, but his controls are really slippery when you're used to Mario's responsiveness. Every time I changed direction, he'd keep running the wrong way for a second. It was really off-putting.
Affirmative. Luigi is far less precise than his brother, so you'll need to factor this in. I often needed to reverse direction before I landed on smaller platforms so that his slides wouldn't send me off the edge. This game also features a very challenging time limit. You're only given 100 seconds to complete each level. So if you don't speed through levels, Luigi will meet an unfortunate end.
Oh no.
You know, we often criticize Nintendo games for doing the same thing and making games easier. In fact, I think we did that very recently with that Donkey Kong Country game. But I think they made this one harder in the wrong way. The time limit just ruins the fun. I like to take my time and find all the secrets in a Mario level. There are still plenty of secrets to find, such as the little retro Mario Luigis, but I just didn't have time to do it, Hex. I felt so rushed.
Yeah, that was a bit of a buzzkill, but things do get easier in multiplayer. Just like Mario Bros. U, this game supports 5 players. The 4 play normally, while the 5th person uses the touchscreen to create extra platforms. The best thing about this mode is that dying doesn't force you to restart the level because you can just float back into the game.
Affirmative. Another advantage of multiplayer is that someone can play as the new character, Nabbit. He's normally a villain, and so this means he's immune to enemy attacks. The power.
There are 82 new levels to play through, and although they're set in the same locations as the original game, Luigi's different controls and the time limit, which I don't like, certainly make it feel unique. I want Nintendo to try different things with their game, so it's good they're doing that, but they just need to do it better.
Yeah, I agree. This really seems like a game for hardened Mario fans. There is a nice groove to this game when you've mastered a level's layout and know how to nab all the bonuses, but I suspect less experienced players will find this a bit of a slog. I'm giving it 6.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10.
Well done, Barjo.
Oh, thanks, Darren.
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh.